What's up, guys? Today we are doing the Ultimus VII Hard Lane One-Shot Guide, Part 2. If you wanted to see Part 1, I'll put a link to that in the video description below, and I'll probably make a playlist, and of course Part 3 will be coming shortly after this. But let's get right into it. We left off on the second mini-boss, Righteous Fury. So, as you'll see, Shuri, Symbiote Spider-Man, Yo-Yo, Black Bolt, and Hela. Hela is pretty critical here. We're going to make good use of those disrupts. And of course, you want a lot of AoE because this node, you can't wait it out. They have really, really big, really hard-hitting abilities. Shield Security has a special that just crushes an individual. The Deadpool special just crushes an individual. It's rough. So you throw the defense ups from Shuri, and you hope that at least a couple of them survive the Shield Assault AoE because it's not a guaranteed dispel. Obviously, Fury gets disrupted as soon as he summons. Shuri taking a lot of damage there, just unfortunate that they tended to focus her. So, because I'm worried for Shuri's safety, I go ahead and stun Deadpool because he has a good chance with all of his rebounding to hit her while he's hitting a bunch of targets. So, I had no choice. I had to stun him there to make sure Shuri stayed alive. The sooner you can get a disrupt on that shield security, the better, because otherwise he will just keep taunting and be a thorn in your side, especially with defense up because there's always so many shield units. Use Black Bolt to go ahead and dispel him, and then I use Yo-Yo to feed some energy to Black Bolt. I go ahead and heal Shuri just because I don't like her being that close to death, but it is going to be rough without those defense ups. So I go ahead and extend the disrupt on security, and then I spread it to everyone, and giving disrupt to everyone is a really big part of why this works. It allows you to basically jam up Nick Fury and not allow him to protect people. Then I focus out Deadpool because the Deadpool special, if he gets to his second turn, it's absolutely brutal. I think he might have used his ult there, so he might have had another turn, but I don't want to forget about him or get stuck on something else. So the sooner you can get rid of Deadpool, the better. And then Nick Fury is already pretty low, so end up continuing to go after him, drop him down, and then I really want to get rid of the troopers as well. The Mystique ultimate right here, not going to be fun. And again, they seem to just really dislike Shuri on this node. They must have a mission to target supports, but obviously go ahead and fire off that AoE from Black Bolt there and thin the field a bit. And again, you can see I'm just trying to get rid of the trooper because he'll deal so much damage. Some of the disrupts that are still out there from Hela, thank goodness, have kept some of them from going into stealth and getting evade. So I'm able to hit more targets, but I'm obviously going to continue to try to take out that cluster right there. So I bring him down with the Symbiote Spider-Man special. And now is a good opportunity to get another disrupt on the field. Disrupting Hand Sentry here. And if we can just take him out altogether, that'd be great. So he's almost dead there. Now I see Loki, and Loki has to be priority 1, which is why I go ahead and use the Symbiote Spider-Man stun on him, because if Loki uses his special, again, it could just kill someone, a defense down, and then my Black Bolt hitting into them. That could be good night for somebody. So we tie up Loki, but then, as I said, you can't let these Deadpools get to turn 2, because the Deadpool special, he doesn't care about offense down from Yo-Yo. So best case scenario, you'll have a defense up, but he's going to go after whoever has the lowest health. So if anyone has taken a moderate amount of damage, Deadpool special is just going to take him out. It's really brutal. So we get rid of Deadpool right away, and we still have some decent debuffs on the field here. So I try to leave some of the debuffs on the field. Doesn't quite work because the Hela basic just hits whoever's lowest, so Loki goes down anyway. So now I try to get a defense down onto shield security because he's going to end up taunting, as you can see there, as soon as Nick Fury summons. Trooper goes after Greg, which is nice. Just another perk of having Hela. And what do we got here? Gonna use that basic knowing full well that it's going to clear out all the Fury summons, but at least we do it all in one shot. And then because we put that defense down on security, we're able to remove his taunt there. And so there's Black Bolt finishing him off. And then we have the Hela ult, and while I could have spread the disrupts, I decided it was better to spread the defense down because there aren't too many enemies left. So this will allow me to actually put decent damage on these guys. So you'll see Shuri now has her defense up back for the next node, so we're good there. And yeah, as you'll see, just gonna take these guys out. I wasn't able to save every single cooldown, but Hela has her special back as well. So we're fine. Symbiote Spider-Man has his ult, so we should be in pretty good shape, and everyone's in really good health. So all in all, while I wasn't able to save every cooldown, pretty clean run of the second mini-boss. Alright, next node we're doing is node 7, gonna fly now, and you'll see I'm still using that Shuri, Yo-Yo, Black Bolt core. This time I'm using Mr. Sinister and Emma once again, and I really like using this couple on this node because the cleansing and the additional healing and the extra character just make this a lot easier, because this node, it does a lot of damage. So I have that Emma ult available, and I go after Vision there. And the sooner you can get rid of Vision, the better. Ability blocks this early in a node are really devastating. And when Vision goes down, the blind goes to Star-Lord, which is really nice, because then he misses his ult. And then I'm able to clone a Star-Lord, which is also really good, because now I can put out some blinds and save us a lot of damage, and I can generate energy for the characters nearby. So, like, unfortunately, that energy just went to Yo-Yo, and I would have rather it gone to either Black Bolt or Emma, but that's okay. Go ahead and use that Yo-Yo ult to give some energy to Black Bolt. Use the Shuri basic right there, and then using that Emma special to get out some slows buys us a little bit of time. And then we have the Sinister special here, so we've got the offense up now on the Star-Lord, so we get some good kick out of his ult right there. And then the Yo-Yo basic pulls Black Bolt in, we get the next kill right there. And he, it didn't matter whether he was blind for that or not, because it's unavoidable, but that's okay. He was at least offense down by Yo-Yo. So with these characters on the field, I'm just trying to go around the Hulks and get rid of the Wasp. So I go ahead and fire the Black Bolt ult because it does get rid of the Wasp. Don't want anyone stunned. Don't want to enjoy her AoE. So the Goblin ult is random enough with offense down. It's not too bad. The Hulk basic isn't too bad. So I still haven't T4'd my Yo-Yo basic, so I don't get that Black Bolt assist there. But calling the assists there to hit Hulk pretty hard is nice. So at least we were able to offense that down, but that's going to be the big chunk of damage that we have to get through on this node. And now we can finish the rest of these characters off. So ultimately I do decide to get rid of Iron Man there, and then obviously pop that Shuri heal because we took some big hits. There's the Yo-Yo basic that removes that death proof, so now we can kind of pop that Hulk as needed, get some slows out there, which doesn't buy us too much time, but it does at least delay how long it'll be before Strange can use his wins, which means we're able to dispel this Hulk. And then I do want to get rid of that Strange. If we can get rid of him before he wins, that's ideal. So that Hulk only had his basic there, which is good. And that will finish off Doctor Strange, and thanks to the slow from Emma, we don't have to deal with his wins, so that's really good. There is another Vision on the field now, so we throw up the defense up, and I do just go ahead and pop this Hulk, or at least get him really low. Go ahead and use a Sinister basic there. And now again we have the Emma ult up, which again is just perfect for getting rid of Vision. So he takes some big hits, and that's that. Not dealing with his ability block, not worrying about having our buffs removed. The Shuri heal is back up, so we're able to top off people's health. And now there's only 3 enemies on the field. It's just time to save cooldowns and make sure that we have everything we need for going into the next node. So I go ahead and save the Sinister clone, save the Black Bolt ult. I'm just using basics here and hoping that the Shuri passive will do enough healing. So there you can see there were the deflects, there was the Shuri passive healing, so that helped out a bit. Gonna just go ahead and finish off shield security, and then yep, just using more basics and just letting everyone get their cooldowns back. We didn't take too much damage, we're in pretty good shape. There's another Shuri passive, so again, that's pretty helpful. And just Goblin by himself is not too dangerous. We got even luckier there. He hit Sinister, and Sinister doesn't take a lot of damage because he heals himself, so he won't be missing a bunch of health. And then I didn't mind using the Sinister special because he gets 3 energy on spawn, so it won't be long before he has that special back. But that's everyone healthy with just about all their cooldowns available. Going into node 8, Chain Gang. This is another one of those nodes that it's, for the most part, just a bit about brute forcing. It's just kind of a stat check. You definitely want to be wary of the Mystiques, but other than the Mystiques, there aren't too many big threats on this node. So I open up with the Yo-Yo basic because I saved the Yo-Yo ultimate to feed energy to Black Bolt, and I know that Black Bolt already has all of his cooldowns, so I don't want to waste giving him energy when he doesn't need any, even though doing damage to everyone on the field would have been advantageous. I also just really like having the Ultron bots on this stage because it just provides a lot of extra targets, and they have a bunch of characters that do a lot of single target attacks. Mystique is going to be all single target. Gamora, with the exception of her special, which doesn't do much, is pretty much all single target, so it's not so bad. But so Ultron ult into the defense down Drax and gets him off the field, which is nice. And then the rest of the characters on the field currently don't do too much damage, so don't need to do anything crazy. You'll notice I just go ahead and use the Symbiote Spider-Man special. I'm kind of saving the ult for when a ton of characters drop down. I want to be able to disable one, slow everyone down so we can thin the field a bit. So just kind of taking these hits because they're not too bad. Nebulas don't hit too hard. I do go ahead and steal the Death Proof from Sabretooth and put that on Ultron, which is obviously good. I go ahead and use the Yo-Yo AoE there just because it hits enough targets. With all the targets on the field, I get good value out of it. Pop the Shuri heal, and like I said, you just mainly worry about the Mystiques. So I get a stun on Mystique so that she's not going to have my Black Bolt kill anyone, and then want to get rid of that Spider-Man, obviously. Just took him out, but now I don't have to deal with his defense downs, and now that Black Bolt has offense up, you get really good value out of that AoE, so I don't mind pressing it, and there's still 7 enemies left, so I'll have time to get that cooldown back, so it was a good time to use that ability. So now we can see all 7 enemies on the field, and there is another Mystique, so I just want to be wary of that Mystique, so I put the defense ups up, and you'll see here, once I'm done with all the Ultron buffs, I go ahead and ult Nebula just to basically get all that energy back for Ultron, and then I use the Symbiote Spider-Man basic because it blows her evade. Now I have the offense, the Black Bolt assist going after her, but yeah, I'm mainly just worried about trying to avoid this Mystique ultimate, but at this point she has really good odds of going after an Ultron bot if she even does get a turn. So there's the Symbiote Spider-Man special. The Yo-Yo should call the Black Bolt, and that takes her out. We don't even have to deal with the Mystique ultimate, and there's only 3 enemies left on the field, so now we're just trying to conserve cooldowns for going into the next node. So, good news is with all the Ultron bots on the field, the likelihood that they go after a target, like no one's going to die, but the likelihood that they even hit a target that they're going to do a bunch of damage to and kind of screw them over for the following nodes is pretty unlikely. And those characters don't hurt too bad, which is why they've been kind of left for the end. You'll see Ultron has all his cooldowns, which is good. And I'm actually glad that Captain America puts the defense up to buy us a little more time, but it doesn't really. We just end up killing them immediately. So that's where we're at, going into the Ronan node. Pretty much everyone healthy with good cooldowns. Alright, I know this is a moment a lot of people have been waiting for, the one-shot of the Ronan mini-boss. We're bringing out Phoenix. This is where I use my Phoenix because this is where you bring out the big guns. This node is no joke, and even if you do everything right, you can still fail sometimes. There is no 100% reliable, clean one-shot on this node, but this works most of the time, so this is what I'm putting in the video. You can one-shot this node, and that's what you're about to see. So we put a defense down on Juggernaut right away so we don't get stuck behind his taunt. I go ahead and use the Phoenix special so that it gives defense up to everyone since we didn't bring Shuri. And then because Phoenix had no buffs and it was the only target Strange could see, he doesn't use his Winds of Watum. So we get Dark Phoenix on the field nice and early and we don't have to deal with the Strange Winds. Use the Black Bolt special on Juggernaut and then the Phoenix basic. And yeah, we're just trying to basically kill this Juggernaut as quickly as possible. And as soon as Juggernaut is down, which we're going to do right here with the Ultron ultimate, which will refresh a lot of those buffs, we want to go after Doctor Strange because he still has his winds. So there's the Yo-Yo AoE, and as soon as we see Magneto, been saving the Symbiote Spider-Man ultimate for Magneto right there so that we do not have to deal with his ultimate because it's really, really brutal. Then we are able to take out Strange so we don't have to deal with that Winds of Watum. And then I really don't want to deal with the multi-target ability block from Ronan. It also does a ton of damage on this node. Because Phoenix was low from the Korath special, I use her special to replenish her health. I go ahead and extend that stun on Magneto so he's not as high of a priority. But gonna go ahead and finish Ronan off here and get more Ultron bots on the field. The more Ultron bots on the field, the better, because that Mystique ultimate is coming up and I don't want her to pick someone important. We have offense up on the Black Bolt, so we use the offense up Black Bolt AoE, and that takes out a bunch of them. Fortunately, the Mystique ultimate does get used on an Ultron bot, which was about a coin flip, so we had good odds. And I did think that that was going to take out that Kree Royal Guard, just like I was under the impression that this would take out the Kree Royal Guard, but that's okay. So we end up using the Phoenix Basic instead of having the offense up Phoenix ult for the next wave, but again, that's okay. Get a defense down on Juggernaut as quickly as we can, although knowing full well that this final wave, the final 6 characters here, it looks easy, but it's certainly not, because you're gonna have to deal with that Mystique, which you can see me doing now. Then we are gonna eat a Strange Winds. The debuffs that we've applied, Ronan is gonna cleanse from them, so it's pretty rough. So I make sure to take out Mystique because we don't have a lot of Ultron bots on the field, and I don't want her to get someone vital killed. But we do end up eating that Strange Winds, and we just have to power through it. It's pretty brutal, so we get a good yo-yo dodge there, which is nice, but that wouldn't have killed her, so that's good. And we're able to get defense downs on a bunch of the non-summon characters over there, which is good because we have some splash damage attacks. Trying to avoid letting this Juggernaut get his taunt in place and get all spun up. Get more Ultron bots on the field so that one of them gets taken out. Rewind the Juggernaut right there. Phoenix basic because we get really good value. And we're going to use this speed up right here and offense up. And then that takes out Strange and extends his buffs even more. Pop that AoE, and these are the final 3 enemies. Juggernaut does get that taunt, but I actually wanted him to get the taunt at this point because now I'm mainly concerned with the 4 characters that are going to be moving on from this node. Everyone but Phoenix, I want them to have their cooldowns, so I actually want him to last a little bit for us here. So I use the Ultron ult because that feeds him back a bunch of energy, which is nice. And yeah, you can see now we're going after Ronan. He has a bunch of health, so we go ahead and rewind him. He's definitely a bit more of a threat, so I don't mind using the Black Bolt special on him there. And yeah, there's a basic from Symbiote Spider-Man, so we are going to have to do a little bit of healing after this node, but nobody died except for Phoenix, which that was the plan. She's not going forward with us anyway, so yeah, a little bit of healing, but you know, we get healing and heals from challenges, so all things considered, pretty clean, pretty good value on that node. To just have to use a few heals just on that mini-boss. You get enough with what you get regularly to be able to spare a little bit for that node. So that is, that's it. Stay tuned for part 3 coming soon, which will take us all the way to the Ultimus boss node. I also want to mention daily live streams are back every single day at 1 p.m. Pacific time over on Twitch. We're doing Marvel Strike Force live streams. So if you want to be part of where the magic happens live every day, 1 p.m. Pacific time, twitch.tv/Khasino. And who knows, you might end up in one of these videos. All right, so if you guys enjoyed that video, go ahead and leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And if you don't subscribe, I will slap my girlfriend.
You're gonna do what?
Nothing.